Hey YouTube, it's your boy, Super Scooter Guy, coming at you with another moto vlog. And today what I want to talk about is kind of an us versus them kind of video. I've touched on this in the past, but I think I want to take it from a more just a mindset process of kind of changing the culture of just at how we view the two-wheeled vehicle versus the four-wheeled vehicle here. Particularly because all motorcyclists, they are drivers, but not all drivers are motorcyclists. So the idea is we have to understand how car works, how car drivers think. Oftentimes they are not seeing two wheels because it's not as prevalent here in the US as it is in other countries where they are truly embedded. The two-wheel life is embedded within the road and within travel. So much so that oftentimes the car is not the major form of transportation. It actually is the two wheels in many countries around the world. And in the U.S., outside of California, where many of those drivers are, used to seeing bikers, doing the lane filtering and splitting and things like that, and they have more of a understanding of bikers in that state. The rest of the country is very much viewing bikes as a novelty, a toy, and feel as if the things that we do are abnormal. So when someone is filtering at a red light and kind of not even weaving, but kind of getting themselves, up to the line, next to a car rather than kind of staying within the line of the cars, car drivers are feeling like, no, we're cutting the line. It's not fair. I'm not expecting you to be next to me. Where, maybe if they understood why sometimes bikers operate the way that they do, they'd have a kind of a better mindset as to how to treat us on the road, and vice versa. So one of the biggest ways that we get harmed and killed by cars is getting rear-ended, and lane filtering adjusts for that. It allows the biker to take a little bit more control over their safety by being able to kind of inch their way outside of the line of cars, so that the person eating Dunkin' Donuts and doing their makeup behind you and not paying attention doesn't crush you into the car in front of you.
We'll see what happens between now and the grand final. We'll try to wrap up in 10 o'clock news. Good morning, Tim Callanan with ABC News. Police say they haven't received any reports of suspicious activity before two people were killed in a unit fire in Melbourne's west this morning. Emergency crews were called to the Deer Park's property just before 1 o'clock this morning. It took firefighters around 20 minutes to extinguish the blaze. They later found the bodies of a man and a woman in their 40s.
Bikes are much faster than cars off the line. So you're not cutting in front. You're going to be gone before that car even notices you. If anything, again, bikes, by taking themselves out of the queue, are actually making it a little bit faster for cars when traffic does hit. So little ideas like that, if we could kind of better instill, how bikes work to drivers. Because at the end of the day, we are also drivers, where when we ride, I personally feel it has made me a better driver because I understand riding. And I'm more defensive when I'm driving and more cautious of bikes around me and giving them space and, not tailgating and things like that. And it's important, I feel like, for us to be able to better promote ourselves to the driving world of just how we operate, so that we can coexist with one another rather than kind of the animosity that happens between bikes and drivers, particularly again in the US. So for me, how do we do this? I don't know. How do we change the culture? How do we maybe instill a little bit of kind of Europe and Asia and Africa and South America, how they do with two-wheeled scooter motor transportation and motorcycle transportation, and how that integrates with car transportation. I think we need that here in the U.S. a bit more, because again, it'll better relations. It'll help the environment more when people are more willing to accept bikes and maybe convert a little bit more into bringing bikes as part of their transportation form, and it'll decongest some of our cities. We can do a lot if we decide to maybe change the mindset a bit. So again, leave comments below. What do you think about what I'm saying? How do we better, alter the narrative a bit and get drivers to understand a little bit of the two-wheeled world, and kind of take an interest, or at least take an interest in altering their opinion on us. So leave comments below, any suggestions that you may have, things like that. But at the end of the day, be safe, keep riding, do your thing. Deuces.